My name is Shane Ernest. I'm the author of Black Baseball in Alabama, Rough Diamonds of Dixie. And today I wanted to talk about one of the resources that I came across while doing research for Black Baseball in Alabama. And I'm talking specifically about the Birmingham Black Barons business ledger. Uh, I, I was stunned to find that there was a digitized version of the Black Barons business expenses from 1926 to 1930 available online. I came across this and it was eye opening. It was stunning to think that this particular series of documents, would still exist. It was the information involved every above board expense the Black Barons had during the height of their Negro Southern League dominance, and they included each player, lists how much they make per week. It lists any expenses they may incur that were covered by the team, and that particular information was fascinating for me. Obviously, the team has expenses like balls, bats, uniforms, gloves, shoes, jockstraps, that kind of basic expense. And it was interesting to learn that players like Satchel Paige had to pay $2 for their jockstrap, or 75 cents for an extra pair of shoelaces. Your shoes definitely were interesting because they cost more for pitchers than they would for any other player, because pitchers, we used to wear a metal plate on one toe so that when they pitched it would be easier, more protective on their foot, and so pitcher shoes were a little more expensive. Uh, More interesting were items like seeing where certain players would get fined for being out late or missing a game the next day. In one situation, there were 3 players fined for being out late, and only one of them missed the next game. That player being Satchel Paige. So obviously, 2 guys were out partying with Satchel, and they had to make the game. Satchel, he's a high dollar guy. He did not have to show up. He just didn't mind the $10 fine. So that was kind of fun. Also, I encountered several instances where the team had to advance the players some money, whether it be for expenses, family expenses, or business expenses, such as getting a bus ride to catch up with the team from where they were being hired. Several players were given advances, and it was noted that the money was given to Mrs. Streeter. And I have to assume that that meant there was a very angry Mrs. Streeter standing there expecting some money at some point, and they were like, sure, here you go, just make a note of that. And they would, and they did. It was eye opening. Every financial transaction, every player that got paid, every player that got fined, every player that played for the team. It answered questions like, how do you spell this guy's name? How do where did these guys come from? They'll sometimes tell you. So it was a fascinating document to find out that this thing had survived since 1930. It was a fabulous resource and fascinating for the stories that it told. But you had to kind of read between the lines in some spots where pitchers would get fined for not showing up, or players would be late for an event. In one situation, Satchel was missed a game, and they note, oh, you missed a game, here's your $10 fine. And then literally the very next day, we have to cover Satchel's bus fare from Baltimore, so there's another $12 that we're going to have to take out of his salary. And Satchel was brilliant. He managed to run this bank balance like a boss. He always managed to get a little money to have in his pocket, whether it was payday or not. So he would get an advance, and then the fines would basically take it down to zero. And they'd be like, look, you're playing for free at this point. He's like, sure, no problem. He'd go for another couple of weeks, back up to zero, and then he'd say, "Hey, I need an advance," and they would advance him for another couple of weeks. It was brilliant to see him play the system a little bit, and come out of it on top. Of course, if you jump the team owing them money, they would leave a note. So when some guys got back from Mexico or the West Coast, they would get there and they'd be like, here's your uniform, you owe $8 for that. Also, you've got a $14 balance from the last time because you had a $10 fine and you took your shoes with you. So that's what I learned from the Black Barons business ledger. It was fascinating. And if you're interested in those type of details, I suggest you pick up a copy of Black Baseball in Alabama, Rough Diamonds of Dixie, and check it out. Or you can check out my blog. You know about my blog? drmiraculous.blogspot.com. See you there.